The Story of Pato, Episode 3. Let's get on into Squin now.
Halt! Stop right there!
Okay.
You! I know your face.
Me? Oh shit. Oaf? Is that you?
You owe me.
I know, buddy. We'll get around to it. Hey, by the way, this skeleton here with me is Pato. He's a friend of mine.
Oh.
Well, nice to meet you, Pato. A friend of Alco is a friend of mine. Talking like that really puts a strain on your throat, you know. You can go into Squin now. We'll catch up later. Thanks, Oaf. Pato was confused, but him and Alco walked up the steps to Squin and into the town. What just happened? That's Oaf. We go way back. I owe him some drinks. The town guards put on that scary voice to intimidate outsiders, but deep down they're like big old teddy bears. Wouldn't cuddle with them, though. They get a little too frisky. What? After Pato and Alco walked inside the town, Alco beelined it for the bar, despite coming to Squin for better equipment, claiming that this particular bar had some of the best grog in the whole region. As they entered, Alco locked eyes with someone sitting at a table, and even the barkeep jumped in excitement, recognizing him, because last year, Alco came in first place in the town's annual beer drinking contest, in which each contestant has to drink as much grog as possible through a straw, but the straw is actually a hot dog. There was no cash prize, he just wanted the honor. Come here, Alco. The figure at the table let out an extremely sexy and seductive voice that sounds kind of similar to mine, the narrator, if you just pitch it up a little bit, but it was towards Alco, beckoning him to come sit at the table with them. Pato assumed it came from a female, but these days you never really know. Alco's eyes widened, and he immediately ushered Pato out of the bar, telling him to go search around town for equipment while he caught up with his friends. And with that, Pato left, leaving Alco to himself. Pato was unfamiliar with Squin, so he decided to go into the building directly next to the bar and see what he could find.
Hey!
As soon as Pato entered, this dude standing near the door yelled at him, telling Pato that he has no business here. But what if Pato had to poop or something? He could have had a whole lot of business all over the floor. Seems like a risky move to yell and scare people who are potentially one quick movement away from defecating themselves.
Be gone!
Regardless of whether or not Pato was on the verge of a bowel explosion, the dude insisted that Pato left, so he did. But he could still be seen lurking outside. Something was fishy about that guy, and it wasn't just his breath or nether regions, so Pato walked back in. Hey, I just want to know where I can find some better gear for traveling, Pato declared, walking in like he owned the place. But the people inside weren't having it, so they chased him out, and Pato decided it would be best to go shopping elsewhere. Pato spotted a building with a sign that depicted scales, and he's a Libra, so he figured it was the universe telling him to go there. There was a nice big box in the store that caught Pato's eye. It definitely wasn't what they had come to Squin for, but Pato thought it might be useful for storing gear or hiding corpses. How much for this box? Pato asked the shop owner. That's not for sale, but there's food in there you can buy. Pato wasn't interested in food. How about these barrels? Well, we don't sell the barrels, we just sell the water inside them. Pato wasn't interested in water either. It seemed to him like this store really had nothing for him, so he walked back outside, taking note of the scales again, and it was at that moment that he started doubting astrology. Next up, Pato saw a building with a sign that had a pretty detailed stick man on it. He thought that this shop was the one he was looking for because he assumed they were selling people here. That could be really helpful to Pato's cause. Unfortunately, though, he wouldn't have a big box to store them in. When Pato walked in, he didn't see any people around other than the shopkeeper, and he was kind of disappointed. Pato was hoping to purchase a human female to accompany him. Alco didn't smell good, and neither of them had done their laundry in weeks. Alco had previously informed Pato that human females were experts at laundry, among other things. But he talked to the shopkeep anyway, and Pato was happy that he did. You want to know why? Wait for it. Bow. Bow. Look at Pato. He found a nice leather top and now he looked like a badass. He even got one for Alco. What a good friend. There was more shopping to do though, and Pato realized that all the walking that he and Alco were doing can be pretty tiring, so he went for what he thought was the hiking stick store next. Or maybe this was the store to buy people, but backpacks and hiking sticks are included in the purchase. That would be an absolute bargain. He was disappointed yet again. There were no hiking sticks here, nor people for sale, just a bunch of backpacks, so at least it wasn't entirely false advertising. He walked out with two of them though, making sure to get one for Alco because whenever they go mining, Alco can only hold like 5 pieces of copper before he starts complaining. There was one more place that Pato wanted to check out. This one with the shapes. He had no idea what it was, so he went in. There was a large Shek standing behind a desk, looking off to the side and not even acknowledging Pato as he walked in. Pato looked up at him, not saying a word, curious as to how long he would go without recognizing that he was there. But then he realized what was going on. The Shek was challenging Pato to a non-staring contest. Some tribes use this method as a way of punishment and deliberate neglect, while others used it as a form of flirting, like a silent mating call, and Pato wasn't sure what the Shek's intentions were, so he just went with it. Psst. A whisper could be heard from a tall, slender Shek standing in the corner of the room, and they were trying to get Pato's attention. Come here, skeleton. Why? Just come here. I don't like the way you're whispering and standing there. It's really creepy. If I had kids, I wouldn't trust you around them. Just come here. I'm not gonna hurt you. Pato shrugged and walked over to the Shek. What? You know Alco, and I need you to take me to him. Why? It's nothing bad, I just want to talk to him. I don't know if you would want that, Pato started saying, but he was interrupted by the sound of music and rowdy denizens, with one voice in particular standing out.
Oh, yeah!
The Shek smirked. Actually, I think I know where he is. Come with me. The two walked out of the building and towards the bar where the noises were coming from, and as they got inside, Alco was seen sitting at a table with a bunch of people, the group talking and laughing over the music. The Shek smiled at the sight of him. Alco looked up, seeing Pato standing there.
Pato, how's it going, buddy?
good?
You got a friend with you?
Hello, Alco. Alco looked up at the Shek standing near Pato, to which his jaw dropped. They stared at each other, and Alco almost felt a brief moment of soberness.
How old is he?